Hey guys, let's do a homework problem here. This is your inverse relations homework. The instructions are to use the ordered pairs that are given or the points that are shown on the graph, so they could give one or the other, to complete the table for the inverse relation. Remember, we're not guaranteeing that it's a function, but it is a relation. Graph the inverse relation on the same set of axes. Finally, state whether or not f of x and f inverse of x are functions or non-functions, as well as how it is that you know. So there are a few things you have to do here. One, you're going to use the ordered pairs to complete the table. So there's the first thing, make sure you complete the table. Then you have to graph it. Then you have to state whether or not they are functions. And make sure you include how you know. How do you know that? Okay, so I'm going to do number 2 for you right now. Number 2, f of x is drawn. So this is f of x. Place its critical values in the table labeled f of x. Then proceed. So its critical values are going to be the points that are noted on its graph. So I see the point 1, 0, right? So I'm going to put that here. I see the point -2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put that here. And then I see the point -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. Alright, so step 1 is taken care of. Remember, the first thing I have to do is complete the table. I did that. Now I have to graph it. So I'm going to graph that inverse relation. But I'll want to complete the inverse table as well. So I'm just going to take each of these points and put them in the inverse table by flipping them around. So we have 0, 1, we have the point 4, -2, and we have the point 0, -5. So I can plot all those points now. Here's 0, 1. Here's 4, -2. And 0, -5. Alright, now we can connect these because remember, it came from a function that is a parabola. So all we've got are critical values that I'm plotting, but it's really just helping me plot the actual function. So let me draw in the rest of my function here. It is a parabola. Vertex comes from the original point -2, 4. So it would look something like this. Alright. So what's next to do? So we've graphed it. Now we have to state whether or not these two are functions or non-functions, and we have to write why it is that we know. So this is as simple as f of x is a function or f of x is not a function. Well, f of x is this parabola right here, and f of x passes the vertical line test, right? There's no vertical line that I could draw that would hit f of x 2 times. So I'm going to write that f of x is a function, and I'm going to say because it passes the vertical line test. And what about f inverse of x? Well, let's take a look. If I were to do the vertical line test here, I'm good there. I just hit it once. But everywhere else that I draw a vertical line, there's 1 time I hit it, 2 times. 1 time, 2 times. Once, twice, right? It's failing the vertical line test, not just 1 time, but over and over again. So I'm going to say is not a function because it fails the vertical line test. Alright, and the other way that you could have described this, right, if we go back and look at our table, you look right here, here's f inverse of x. What's the problem? Well, when 0 is thrown into the function, it either produces a 1 or it produces a -5. That's no good. We can't rely on that. So f inverse of x clearly isn't a function, right? And that's all you'd have to prove here. There are 2 points on that parabola. that very clearly prove that there's an input with two outputs. So you could have said that as well. But a lot of people choose to use the vertical line test. All right, so that's what your homework looks like. There are 3 more of those that you guys are going to have to do on your own. Again, you should be able to knock most of this out in class because you've got plenty of time to do it. All right, so good luck on it, and I will see you guys in class tomorrow.